I'm going to continue with Vinland Saga Season 2. I'm going to try to be short on this as well, but this is something about 24 episodes, Mappa, and it is a seinen, and it's definitely was premiering from the previous year. I was supposed to watch it previous year, but I didn't do it because I didn't have time for it. I didn't calculate time for it. But for those who doesn't know, Vinland Saga is one of those few mangas that has taken place entirely in the Nordic, or mostly part in the Nordic. As of course, someone who lives in the Nordic, who has relatives here in the Nordic, who is basically lives here and being part of the culture, seeing a manga now taking place in here in past time during the era of Vikings, I'm very excited for Vinland Saga, especially for this arc, which I've been very familiar with in the manga, which there I'm not gonna say I'm before, but what I have caught up, but I'm definitely many chapters before the ending of this anime. And what I can say about this is that it feels like it's on autopilot. Now, when I have most knowledge about this manga and this anime, I feel like this anime is on mostly autopilot, and it's not for the best reasons. Because I feel like Vinland Saga should have been the most highly attention, and should be basically been almost like almost like Berserk level when it comes to animation, when it's very, very, very good for its scene and quality. And I do believe that Mappa should probably done so as well, because I feel like this one has, unless they know a scene is very, very important, their animation is almost like not as good quality, especially for storyboarding. Because I did post a clip about how some animation can be very good, but some parts here it looks very stiff, which I don't like about this Vinland Saga, because you can see all the animation techniques where they are limiting the animation, but they don't really don't do any much about it. It doesn't seem to be like you're getting something in return. You're seeing, oh, we're seeing something that is complementary, or something that they just need to do to make it easy for animators. This isn't like when we're looking at something like Dezaki's work, where when he uses some animation techniques which is helping the animators, but it makes it look gorgeous, here it looks more like it's just for the animators part. Because when you notice in storyboarding how some shots are made, it's very distracting, and it doesn't feel like you're being sucked in the story as much. Despite me liking very much the voice actor in here, and I do really like the message of this story, which I kind of have to now judge it dependently on the anime, because some shots in the manga looks better there than it does in this anime, sadly. And even some mistakes that happens in the manga, or some things that I thought it was very off, like how there's no really real reunion scene, or they seeing the first time, or this genuine reaction of Leif or Thorfinn seeing each other, little spoiler over there, is that it does feel like it doesn't have that own, that it doesn't really want to do important stuff like that, or catch one of those scenes that might someone who actually adapting would actually notice. Which I honestly don't like about this anime trend, that some of the stuff are on autopilot. But I do have to recognize it still doesn't good. It doesn't mess up too many things. But it doesn't, at the same time, doesn't impress me as much as the manga did. It's probably, I will say two words, watered down on autopilot. It's a high C tier for me. As a Nordic man, I expected more.